Welcome back, System Wars. We're here with Pedal to the Metal. We've got a very special show for you today. We are, Heil, I believe we're now entering the mighty month of March, which is our 1-year anniversary of Pedal to the Metal. So without further ado, I want to introduce the hashtag legendary Heil68. What's up, Heil?
Oh, yeah. Whole year. It's hard to believe it's been that long, so... Had a consistent cast, too, so I bet you we're rolling up on, I don't know, close to 40 or 50, maybe. We've had some double weeks in there and some special ones, so yeah, it's been pretty fun, so...
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, so...
Actually, I was counting. I didn't count all of them specifically the other day, but I know we did, I think, 25 in Season 1. The one we're going to release this coming Monday is the finale of Season 2, which would mean that I think we've done close to 60 podcasts.
It's really
so
good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Yeah. So who else we got tonight? I know we've got the mighty Animal Mother. What's up, Animal?
I came from the bowels of hell to be with you tonight.
You really did. Animal was in surgery this week. So, Animal, how you doing?
It was cosmetic. It's okay. I'm good. It's a little sore, but otherwise, Eureka was like, "Are you sure, man?" He's like, "I don't want you to stress yourself." I was like, "Dude," my ugly face and voice are fine. I was like, I'm not like ripping my 6-pack on like the show the whole night.
Yeah, well, I wanted to be nice. I wanted to be kind and give you the week off if you needed it. I didn't want to be a jerk, but yeah, let's get to our guest today. Heil, tell us who we got.
We got Charizard. What's up, man?
Hey, how are y'all?
Good. Dude, Charizard was on our, was it second show ever?
I think it was the second, yeah.
Second show ever, Charizard was on. So this is kind of like a full circle for him. So we're happy to have him back on. And who else we got, Heil?
Mr. Music Man. Is that right?
That'd be me. How you guys?
I don't see you post too much anymore. Do you still active on the board?
I do not post as much anymore, mostly because I have a vendetta against the forums. But I do watch everything. I keep up with all the news.
Oh, you and Synthia can talk about that after the show.
Oh, okay. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay. We also have JG4X Champ. What's going on, Champ?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not too much, dude. How you living?
Nah, I'm all right. It's been good. It's a good week. Tax season can end already, and I'd feel better.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys this? I know you're from New York, like Animal. Are you guys just like me, like completely fucking sick of the winter?
Yeah.
I'm not from New York. I'm from South Florida.
Yeah. That's why we're not asking.
Must be nice.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
I'm in Texas right now, and it's below freezing.
No, in Texas, really?
Yeah, I can send you a picture of the fountain in a school which has like icicles hanging from it, and like it's sunny, and it's still freezing right now. I have no idea how.
What is it? 60 degrees below freezing in Texas?
I had to.
No,
I
it's
had
like
to.
27 right now.
So I had to like go see one of our clients bright and early in the morning because tax season makes everyone annoying. So I didn't fill up my car with gas, right? So I'm obviously having to do this at like 11 at night. Oh my God, was my hand like angry at me for just sheer cold that was out there.
Yep, I hear you. I feel the same way, man. I get up early in the morning, I'm heading off to work, and it's like I curse. Like the first 10 miles before like my heater actually starts kicking on, I'm cursing the whole time. But yeah, anyways, we have one other guest today with us, a very special guest. Kind of her to drop in with us today. Coming off of her very first show with Pedal to the Metal, we are on today with Synthia. What's going on, Synthia?
Hi. Not too much, just looking at socials. Relevant news story just dropped about Pedal to the Metal's lineup, so I'll text you that in just a second.
Wow. Excellent. I like
Can't stop the signal.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we got a full agenda today. We don't want to waste too much time. I'm going to let Heil take us through the first topic here, and Heil, tell us what we got.
Yeah, we're gonna go through some games, some couple surprises, and just some updates on existing games. So we're gonna start off with I think it was last week, not too long ago. They showed Rocksteady released a trailer for Batman: Arkham Knight. No gameplay, of course, which is never going to be gameplay in opening trailers, but it's going to be an open world game like most or all Batmans. But this one's going to be a little bit different because you're going to be able to drive the Batmobile. So what do you guys think of that?
Batmobile.
Batmobile.
It looks like the ultimate Batman game.
Do you think is this going to be? Do you guys think this is going to be? Let's start with Champ. Are we locked and loaded for GTA Arkham?
No, they sort of like already confirmed like the city's not going to be super loaded, right? And I thought Rocksteady like sort of like gave you an idea of how they're going to handle their sandbox, right? Like the overworld is going to be like your typical open world type stuff, but you know, once you get to designated area, it's kind of like Arkham Asylum level design. So I think
It's not
it
as
tries
quite
to.
great as open world game as like Mafia 2, right, Champ?
It sucks.
Or LA Noir? Yeah.
Okay, that game was awful. That game.
Hey.
What surprised me is I want to talk about this a little bit because we could probably talk. This is speculation, but it comes out this year, and it's only for current gen system, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So they're not going to be for Gen 7 consoles. I'm not sure if it's the Wii U either. I'm guessing not. But anyway, how were they able to do that? Because I assume they started working on this after their last Rocksteady's last Batman game.
That was 3 years ago.
These consoles weren't even announced.
Make them on PC, and then
Yeah,
because these two consoles are basically PC architecture. So
True.
I feel like a lot of these studios were like really making PC games straight up, and then like now that they have dev kits, they've adjusted their games to like work on the new consoles.
The other
It
thing is-
really surprised me. I want to ask Synthia, do you think that's a mistake on their part to turn their back on roughly 160 million console users between PS3 and 360?
Well, it's one of those unfortunate circumstances where we're all going to have to move on at some point. I think it's a little shitty that they're forcing our hand so early. I personally probably won't get a next-gen console for at least another couple of months just because, I'm maybe an adult, but like I also have adult things that I have to spend money on, and a next-gen console isn't necessarily at the top of my list. Like I'll probably end up just upgrading my PC and getting the PC version.
Let's take it over to Charizard. Do you think that's a mistake? That's a lot of potential buyers. I don't want to look it up on VG charts, but I assume the last Batman game, not the Origins, but the Rocksteady one, probably sold, I don't know, close to 10 million maybe?
Yeah, 6 to 8 million was the last one we got. Okay. Well, I think that you have to move on. This happens every generation. If we just stuck with a big install base, we'd never actually move on to your console. So, and this game's coming out this year, which is about a year after the release of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I'm with you, Char. I think that I don't know. Call it unfortunate if you want, as far as moving on, but like I'm actually all for them moving on down the road. I guess to throw a little counterpoint in there, like I understand why they continue to like develop games because they have the larger install base, but like I don't know, maybe, and call me spoiled, I guess, but I bought a next gen system, so I kind of want them to start like moving quicker along. So when they announced that it was going to be for next gen consoles, I kind of got excited because I don't think it's just like the graphic upgrade. I also think that like there's new ideas, there's new thoughts, there's things that can go into new hardware that maybe they were held back limitation wise on the older hardware.
They're not being held back anymore.
Exactly. If they have an idea that they don't have to say, well, we could do that at the next wave of hardware. But what do you think, Mr. Music Man?
I'm not really too mad at them for kind of pushing the envelope on it. I mean, when the game releases, most likely in October, November area, it'll be almost exactly a year as to when the next gen consoles came out. And I think that's generally enough time for people to a lot of people to buy their next gen consoles, and they're not gonna have to worry about sales and anything like that. So, Rocksteady. They're a good company. I believe they know what they're doing. I believe Warner Brothers knows how to make money, so they know what they're doing. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty awesome, given that just because it's made by Rocksteady, just because of that fact. I loved Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And the trailer, although it's not gameplay, it was said to be that's the end game engine they're using for those trailers. So yeah.
Nice. So Animal, do you think that it's a good move for Rocksteady? I believe they announced that they will not be working on any more Batman Arkham games after this one. Smart or not smart?
It's to get on the level of whether or not it's forcing their hand. I'm assuming that they've been working on this game since late 2011 now. You know, that was probably really early in pre-production. So, yeah, why make it a cross-gen game if you're going to work 3 years that hard, you know, on next-gen games? And you're right. I bought a next-gen console for next-gen games. I think it's really smart of Rocksteady to just be doing a next-gen game. Like Char said, if they sold anywhere between 8 to 9 million copies of Arkham City, it's smart because by the time Christmas runs around, I think the install base of both consoles combined will probably be about 15 million. And it's great. I think it's great that it's their last Batman game. They did something really great for a franchise. They did something really great for gaming. A lot of people didn't like Origins. I did. It was buggy though, but Rocksteady has come out and proven themselves as a really fantastic developer. The only game they made, Champ, actually was Urban Chaos Riot Response before Batman.
Yeah, which I mean, that could just be a product of, you know, not having enough resources at the time they were making that game versus, you know, what they were once they worked with WB.
I mean, I want to bring up 2 points. One is just because they're done with Arkham doesn't mean they're done with Batman, right? Can't they just do different time periods of Batman?
I'd rather them do another superhero like Green Arrow. I'd really rather them do that.
They gotta stick in the DC universe.
I mean, it's kind of tough because Batman's it's all centered on the combat, so most other superheroes have, you know, special powers.
Green Arrow would make sense, like probably the most sense with what Batman does.
Rocksteady's combat is, I think, the
Maybe
top
have a
or not
good
the
Superman
top.
game?
What's that?
Said maybe do a good Superman game?
No Superman.
Oh, shush.
Screw you guys. But yes, I would be cool with a good Superman game.
I would too, finally.
I
Just
want
a good
them
solid.
I want Justice League. Like, I just want the whole 9 yards.
Is Charizard still on the call, or is he dropped?
No, he had to bounce out, so we were saying goodbye to Charizard for the evening.
Oh, because I was going to ask him what he thought about not being on the Wii U, so... Poor Wii U.
Yeah. You can still ask him, but he's going to probably say the same thing.
He dropped out because he's so sad that he ends up getting shit for third party. Well, let's move on then. So we talked about Batman. They also showed Dragon Age Inquisitor, which I never played the second installment, which I'm glad I didn't compare to people, but the trailer looked pretty good. And fall 2014 release, another fall game. So did you guys get a chance to watch the trailer?
I did not. Did you guys?
I saw the trailer. The environments look really, really, really nice. Like, I mean, I've actually never played a Dragon Age game before, but I decided with this new one, I thought, maybe I should, test the waters here. It's going to be in the next gen console, so I said, why not? And the environment just looked ridiculous. It looks very, very pretty. Though I, can't say anything about the gameplay yet, obviously, but good things.
What do you think, Champ?
What, Dragon Age 3?
The trailer. I mean, they didn't show any gameplay or characters, so it's...
I actually didn't watch the trailer. I'm very indifferent towards Dragon Age. What I've seen of the game, I think it looks beautiful. Like, just on an art direction standpoint. I think that's the prettiest game BioWare's probably ever made.
This one's for... How about Animal answer this? Do you think with trailers, when they get announced so early and they show... I don't know if I'm getting, what's a good word for it, hardened to game trailers reveals, because one, they're always CGI. Very rarely will they show gameplay, or what is actual going to be final representation of gameplay. We've all seen massive downgrades, which we'll discuss in our next game. But do you think these trailers, are good or bad or indifferent? Because they really don't show any gameplay, characters, no story. They were just environments for both Batman and.
I had a brief we had a small discussion last week. I had a brief discussion about this with you guys. I'm fine with trailers because we all know that we've kind of become numb to the idea that we understand that it's all bullshit CGI, but I mean it's marketing. You know, it's a way to get us to get really hyped. I mean, when Eroica showed me on Tuesday, and he goes, "Hey, the new Batman trailer." I was all drugged up, and I was like, "This is great." I was like, "This is amazing." But at the end of the day, you have to take it with a grain of salt, and you become kind of what's the word when you become desensitized to it.
Yeah.
You just say, it's just a trailer, and it gets you hyped for a train. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that there's a bunch of marketing guys there saying to Rocksteady and Warner Brothers, like, release this trailer. It's gonna look really badass, and it did look badass. And I think it's just something we have to accept because
It's not going away.
Yeah, it'll never go away, and it's not going to go away.
So Cynthia, what do you guys at the office think? You guys probably have a different perspective. I mean, do these like Rocksteady and BioWare, do they say, "Hey, why don't you show this trailer"?
So I mean, there have been games in the past where like they'll release the trailer to us, as part of press packet, and we all like hunker around whoever's desk it happens to be on, and we're all like anxiously like chomping at our fingernails. Like some of us are super excited, some of us are skeptical. With this particular game, like it wasn't a whole lot of buzz that I could hear in the office. Like, I mean, it was a really, really busy day. Like there was all the WatchDogs stuff and all the infamous Second Son stuff going on. So I think we might have seen this trailer earlier. I'm not exactly sure. But like I was excited. I think it looks super pretty. I've also never played a Dragon Age game before, but I think this looks neat.
Well,
High five.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, for me personally, I'm much more excited for Batman. I haven't played Origins yet because I've heard mixed things about it, but Rocksteady's combat in the Batman, those were some of the funnest games I've played last gen on consoles. So
well, I mean, it's Batman. Also, Batman was yesterday, or it was earlier this week.
yeah, it was
Tuesday.
It was early in the week. So
They'll just sort of blend together in one giant blob of trailers and leaks and press releases and things.
did you have something to add to that, Music Man?
No.
I'm sorry, I
not
didn't
really.
interrupt you. I probably lost your thought there.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So, Heroica, we want to hear from you because you're the big BioWare guy. Have you played any of the Dragon Ages?
I played Dragon Age 1 on Xbox 360. It definitely felt like it should have been played on a PC, and I was thinking that the whole time I was playing Dragon Age on the 360. It's probably the most underwhelming franchise that BioWare's put out. I'm much more of a sci-fi guy anyways. I mean, games like KOTOR and Mass Effect are like just scratch just about every itch for me over like the fantasy realm games. But I'm rooting for this game. I'm not like somebody that's going to play like Dragon Age 2 and like start a big thing about it because the gameplay in Dragon Age 1 didn't like overly compel me. So it's not like that's going to ruin it for me, but like going into Dragon Age 3 or Inquisition, of the stuff I have seen, of the gameplay I have seen, it looks like maybe they're going for like a little bit of a hybrid of the two. So I mean, I always wish them luck. I think BioWare does a pretty good job with games. It looks like that Frostbite 2 engine that they've got running the game looks absolutely gorgeous, like Champ said. But I mean, in all honesty, if it gets a 6 or a 5, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But I'm hoping for a 9.
Yeah. So what's the next game on our list there that Heroica, why don't you take that one?
Though the next one would be WatchDogs. Now, WatchDogs has had I feel like there's like two faces for WatchDogs. There's like the pre-summer WatchDogs where everyone was like completely jacked and hyped and oh my god, this is like game of the year material. And then there's like the post-summer when it got pushed back, where now it's just like the industry bitch. Like I feel like everything that comes out on this game is looking more negative. So I know we saw it live. We talked about this before the podcast. Animal Heil and I saw it at Comic-Con in New York City. And we actually watched the game live and we're underwhelmed with it. Animal, what did you think about, the new trailer and what everybody's saying about Watch Dogs?
I don't know. Watch Dogs is such a weird game because it came out of the advent of this generation for PS4 and Xbox One, and it was kind of the poster child for next gen consoles. I think Ubisoft, I think them pulling it back at last second was a smart move, but I think it was also detrimental to them to show it so early. And this kind of spurs back to my discussion last week a little bit. Like, if they would have showed the game last E3, it would have been awesome because it would have only been a little over a year out. But since they put themselves in a position with Assassin's Creed and new consoles and a new IP, it's like they didn't know how the consoles were going to do. Like, they've kind of had all this time, and the game's been in limbo, and we haven't heard much about it since it's been pushed back. I'm hoping for the best because I'd love an awesome like Assassin's Creed Cyberpunk open world, but I doubt it.
Comes out in 2 months. Champ, what did you think about it? Tell us your funny story that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when I got shown like a picture of the game, like someone took it on gaff, and then I was like, so wait, why are we looking at this PS2 game? And apparently it's WatchDogs, and and there was like a timeline of how that game used to look and to where it looks now, and you start seeing like this like weird like drop off in the visuals, and I described it as like I feel like Ubisoft's doing some kind of like troll game development all of a sudden. Like they actually finished the game back when they first showed the game, and then like, okay, let's show it to the world, and then they're like, all right guys, we got a year to release an unfinished game, strip that bitch down. And that's literally what they've been doing, is somehow unmaking the game, because I don't understand how. I mean, I get what might have happened, but I don't get how you make that much of a drop off, considering they did show a playable version of that game looking the way it used to. So I don't understand how it constantly like, it'd be one thing if that was like 360 PS3 footage. We'd be like, okay, yeah, fine, that's fine. But that's PS4 footage looking that bad. Yeah. So it's like, what?
They confirmed that the PS4 has the slightly better resolution too. So what'd you think of all that?
A slightly better resolution than what? The PlayStation 2? I hope it has a better resolution than
that. Between the PS4 and Xbox One. So if that, the Xbox One could look.
I don't want to look at the Xbox One version because that game looks pretty bad. I think you were saying how maybe I want to see Arkham City on the new platforms. I think Watch Dogs is an example of why some of these studios probably shouldn't do multi-development as far as cross-gen, because I feel like when you have a team as gigantic as the one that works on Assassin's Creed, you can pull it off, right? Because you got all that manpower. But when you got studios that are probably smaller, the way Rocksteady is and the way I'm guessing the Watch Dogs team is, you see how much needing to dial that game back for a 360 and PS3 and the Wii U has hurt that game a little bit, because I mean, there's PCs that could run the original version of Watch Dogs, and I don't think it's crazy to think the Xbox One and the PS4 couldn't run a better looking game than what they're showing now. So
what did you think about that, Synthia? Did you think of the downgrade was pretty significant? You've been probably seeing a lot of the stuff.
There was a lot of community feedback that we noticed. Like, there was this one guy on Twitter who kept mentioning us, like, demanding where our footage came from, just so that he could know whether or not to cancel his pre-order or not. Like, he was literally, like, hounding us, like, OMG, why do you not tell us what platform you capture on? And I'm like, dude, like, we just took what they gave us, like, and I'm not going to go on record saying which one it was, because, fuck, I know. But yeah, no, it was very clear that like a lot of people in the community at large kind of felt taken aback by what they had seen, especially because I think some of them had seen some of the higher quality stuff. Because I mean, like, I know when I saw it, I was like, this does not look like the same thing that was demoed to me during PAX Prime. Like, not even a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, I kind of feel like the same thing. I mean, everything I've seen on it, it seems like every time I look at another screenshot of Watch Dogs, it gets further and further away from that original vision of that first trailer they showed where he was having like the little gunfight in the street and like using all the fancy gadgets, and it looked like pristine, perfect. It's like, I mean, kind of to echo what Champ said, it looked like that was what next gen was supposed to be, and the next gen consoles would be able to run that without skipping a beat, or at least, ambitiously run that. But I don't know. I mean, Mr. Music Man, what did you think about it?
I just saw the the trailer right before the show started, and I mean, there's no denying that the quality has dropped ever since the game was announced. But like, kind of going back to what Champ said, like, well, he was saying that when you do these cross generation games, you kind of have this drop in quality. Well, I think Ubisoft knows how to do this since AC4, Assassin's Creed 4, did look pretty good on the PlayStation 4. It looked pretty good to me, at least in my eyes. There was like extra added effects on the PS4 version that weren't on the PS3 360 version, and I'm sure they know how to make the game look good. But to explain the decrease in quality, I mean, I don't know, maybe they're just like, what, we're just going to show you a really crappy game, and then when it comes out, everybody's going to be like, surprise,
That's
April
really bad
Fools.
marketing. Like, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm going to assume that hurts their bottom line.
Yeah.
And then,
I think the other issue with the AC4 argument, not that it isn't a good argument, it's just that AC4 always looked good visually, and whatever. Let's say WatchDogs has fantastic gameplay, then this whole thing's a wash. Like, who cares how it looks? It plays well. But
I remember. Oh, sorry.
well,
I'm
okay,
not
so
that-
people care. People care.
I'm not that person. Like I think every time somebody is like, but it looks like shit. Like every time a gamer says that, it like a kitten dies.
Yeah, I think there's a
'Cause
lot
it's
of
really
dead cats in the
unfortunate.
world.
Right. It's just like, do you remember what playing games back in the 90s was like? Do you remember the blocks?
I mean, like, well, sorry, go ahead.
Well, like I was gonna say, like so long as the gameplay is like great, like I said, this whole thing's a wash. Like it doesn't matter if it like had atrocious graphics, it would still be fine because hey, it plays well. So that's the only thing that really matters when it comes down to it. Whereas whatever that keeps it entertaining. But like I said, AC4 always looked consistent with its footage. WatchDogs, every time you see it, it's like it gets worse, and that is sort of like the big warning flag here.
Are they using the same engine for Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs? Is that
I
what it's
don't think so. I think they are using.
Anvil?
I think they're using a different engine for Watch Dogs. I am not entirely sure, but I think they're using a different engine. But speaking of connections between AC4 and Watch Dogs, some people have these theories, and this might be spoilers for people who haven't finished AC4. That AC4 will kind of lead into Watch Dogs, and Watch Dogs will be your future day Assassin's Creed. And I am 100% behind that.
I am waiting for that spoiler. Like
I'm waiting for it to.
Thing I've ever heard.
I'm waiting for it to
But
happen.
it's not going to. I mean, they've already talked about where the Assassin's Creed 5 is going to take. Well, they haven't talked about where it's taking place, but they've mentioned that Assassin's Creed 5 is in the works, and this isn't it.
Is Ubisoft the dumbest company in the world?
I don't know about dumbest.
Not dumbest. All right, dumbest is a little harsh. Everyone has been clamoring for Japan since 3, or about the end of 2. Everyone's Japan.
Everybody.
Japan. A lot of people have.
A lot of people.
A lot of people also say Victorian England. A lot of people say
I've wanted
French Revolution.
French Revolution.
I see Japan more than anything, and every year Ubisoft comes out and goes, "Not Japan this year, folks."
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them skipping.
No,
it.
you're not.
I really am because it's not. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
guess,
think Assassins, and I don't think Assassin's Creed, and then feudal Japan.
I could see it.
And I mean, they've gotten to the point too on the same thing with the future, Assassin's Creed actually being Watch Dogs thing. I mean, I don't think Ubisoft, especially after watching, and playing through Assassin's Creed 4, and yes, I did actually pay attention to the story, Champ, even though it was shit. It doesn't. I know it doesn't seem to me that Ubisoft has that much invested into the story of Assassin's Creed anymore to do something that daring with it and release a new IP that's actually connected to the other IP. If this was back like midway through the Ezio trilogy, I might say that they care enough about where the story's going to do something like that. But at this point, I mean, we've just pretty much rebooted the entire series. I don't see them tying in a new IP to it.
I think if anything, we might get I'm going to assume that none of you strapping men have seen Frozen, but
I
saw it with my niece.
But so there's a cameo with the princess from Tangled, where she appears for a brief second in the court of Elsa's domain. So like for a brief second, she's there. So if anything, we might get something along those lines, but I don't think we're gonna get any like super strong connection.
Right.
Maybe like a ghost of Altair, like, hi.
It'll be like,
Yeah.
God, right? Like it'll be for like, or like we'll see like you'll hack some kid who's super into playing this game about assassins or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
I can understand that. That's reasonable.
so Easter eggs totally direct link, probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like in a way that Watch Dogs is kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit. I feel like AC4 came out of nowhere and did. I don't want to say it came out of nowhere because everyone expects AC to be at least some type of quality every year as far as gameplay is concerned. But AC4, I feel like they overshot from what my expectations were. And then, you got games like coming out like The Division from Ubisoft, and I don't know, like, I mean that game looks like a lot of fun. I just feel like Watch Dogs somehow went from being like their poster child for next gen. Somebody said that, I don't think it was Animal, to being kind of a little bit lost in the shuffle. I mean, shit, even the last Splinter Cell was really, really good.
And you didn't play it.
I know. Everyone's saying it's so good, though. I gotta play.
I'm putting it in the mail for you by the end of the week.
Done. Accepted. Accepted. So what do you think, Hi? Let's move along. Let's move to a couple of these big dogs here. Can I introduce this one to you and we get your take on it?
Yep.
All right. Amy Hennig of the previously indestructible God's gift to all video games, Heil's greatest wet dream, Naughty Dog, has left, and she's the creative director and writer for the Uncharted series, and she's gone. And what sources are claiming is that Hennig was forced out by The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley.
So I'm going to jump in really fast. They
Yeah.
actually just confirmed that that's not a thing.
Okay.
She posted it in the
Kotaku.
chat window. I saw. I read it.
Okay. All right,
I shipped the text in the chat. So like,
yeah.
No longer a thing.
right. So who was it? Let's see here. If I read the article, it says shock, blah 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 blah.
Professionally misreported, unprofessionally misreported.
Right,
the
basically.
story broke.
But so like they came out saying like we don't usually comment on rumors and speculations, but because it was getting to a point where it was damaging Bruce Stanley and Neil Druckmann, we had to come out and say these two had nothing to do with her departure.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's good that they did that because I mean, in all honesty, Naughty Dog is obviously one of the pillars of modern gaming here as far as game design and things like that, and everything that comes out of that camp always seems like they're a very well-oiled machine. They're very calculated in the things that they do. It doesn't mean that everything that they do translates to perfection, but they're a very high-quality dev. So Heil, what do you think? I mean, do you think you're the biggest Uncharted fan I know? I mean, do you think that
it's not perfection? It's just like 95 out of 100, I say. So,
Jesus.
Nothing's
Top 5 of all
perfect,
time.
yeah, the story was, lots of places ran that she was forced out, so it's nice that not nice, but they felt necessary to clear that up. So, the most important thing is Uncharted development will not, is going to march forward. So, the stories, they were kind of Indiana Jones-ish, obviously. So I don't think that's, I think they'll do fine. I mean, one person doesn't kill a whole studio. We've seen it. We talked a few shows ago about the girl from Bungie or 343, the one that was in charge of the lighting, leaving to go to Naughty Dog. So better opportunities come on. I don't know what exactly happened here, if she was fired or quit or whatnot, but I hope she gets a job in the industry. So, but Naughty Dog will be fine, and Uncharted is going to be fucking amazing.
What do you think? What do you think, Champ? Do you think that the addition or subtraction of one person to a team makes that big of a difference in something like story?
I think it depends. It's studio to studio. It depends on who the team is. I think in Naughty Dog's case, considering they have, I basically feel like if there's a studio that Sony gives blank checks to, it's Naughty Dog. Like, I feel like they would get that kind of resources in their favor. And Neil Druckmann basically pointed out that with Last of Us, that guy can write. Not to take anything away from Amy Hennig, like, for all the glory she's gotten for Uncharted, people forget she was excellent in the Legacy of Kain series as far as a writer is concerned. So that girl can write. So do I think Naughty Dog is gonna feel it? I don't think so. You might notice it in Uncharted 4. Like, you might notice, hey, this is clearly the point where a certain somebody left, right? Like, because sometimes you feel that in games, like,
right? Yep.
I read it because,
especially when games have been in development for a while. I think watching someone get fired, if she did get fired, for all I know, she'd probably just quit, retired, whatever. Like, tip of the hat to that lady. She's pretty impressive.
Her Twitter feed's kind of indicating that she just left.
Yeah, that's.
She hasn't seemed like weird or toxic or like scared, or there hasn't been any kind of based off of her social media platform, which not necessarily a whole lot of
I mean,
force behind it, but
they wanted to have. They wanted to have.
I feel like she's too classy to like just shit. I'm sorry to shit on Naughty Dog if they did fire her.
Right.
Just for the type of person she is, but. To be positive about it, I think it'll be like, let's say she is going to make a game. What if she's working with a smaller studio? I'd like to see what she could do. Now that she sort of has like free reign to do something else.
Oh yeah, it keeps up with Ken Levine.
I think that you might on what Champ said. I think you might notice certain differences in Uncharted 4 based on like maybe not the overall arc of the game, but maybe situationally from character to character, you might notice some differences and some changes. But I mean that's all speculation, remains to be seen. Synthia, what do you think about somebody leaving a team like that? I mean, we know how popular the Uncharted games are. Is this gonna submarine the story in Uncharted 4 in your opinion?
It's hard to say. I mean, there are a lot of really good writers out there, and it's not uncommon for some writers to gain inspiration from others. I mean, like, I wrote many a tale for tabletop campaigns, and a lot of the stuff that I grabbed was inspired by, other sources. And so I don't think it's impossible for quality writing to still shine through. I mean, it does of course make me a little bit concerned, because it's just like, well, what if this new person does suck? I mean, these are things that you kind of have to worry about. But like Naughty Dog's kind of known for having pretty decent stories. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I have faith.
Sully, yeah.
Sully.
Are you gonna get the same person?
My final thought is The Last of Us was an awesome, gripping, edge of my seat story. I thought so. I mean,
I love Last of Us so much.
So
what was her hand in that game?
What?
What was her hand in that game?
In Last of Us, she wasn't part of it.
She wasn't part of it.
So my take is, along with Cynthia, is a writer. A writer is important, but they work as a group. So you'll hardly find any on a bigger AAA game one single writer, because they bounce like they write like a TV show basically, or a movie. Yeah. So one writer.
I think the TV show comparison probably works the best in that one.
Yeah. So
right. I mean, it really has to do with size, but like, so for example, like Firefly, I want to say was written by a team of like 2 or 3 people, versus a show like The Big Bang Theory, which is written by dozens of people who are all sitting in a room trying to figure out the best way to like craft this story. So
I think they'll be fine. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm a huge fan of theirs, but I honestly think with how good The Last of Us is, they got talented people, and plus they're one of the top developers in the industry. So if they put jobs on the net, they're going to get quality applicants, I think.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think, I'm not taking anything away from her at all, but I just think they're gonna be fine without her. They're just gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna kind of. It's always sad to see somebody leave a company. Somebody who had such a staple and a series and a generation. And it's been kind of a really weird week for Sony. I mean, they had 27 people leave Sony Santa Monica this week.
Yeah, and of course,
we're gonna get to that. Don't worry. And then it was Amy Hennig, and then do you guys mind if I lead us into the next point?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sure. Go right ahead.
Jack Tretton left today as of March 6th, 2014. Hi, Ali, Rika, why don't you guys spearhead this one?
I'm shocked based on the fact that, I mean, he seemed to me always like a PlayStation lifer. Like, he was around for PS1, and like he's kind of become a little bit of a staple for PlayStation gaming. And I'm He kind of, I don't know how to equate this to something. I'm thinking of like Rick Dempster this year on the Red Sox, retiring after striking out his last batter and winning the World Series. It's like he kind of like shit in Microsoft's face, dropped the mic, and then walked off the stage and said, "Yep, I'm done. I'm leaving this console in the best possible hands. We're on the up and up. Everything looks good." Kyle, what do you think?
I'm gonna miss him because he's definitely one of the.
Kyle's feeding the dog.
There I am.
Yep.
I think he's one of the most.
Your god is dead.
No, he's not. That's Kaz. I'm gonna miss him because he's one of the more colorful characters there is. You know, I mean, Microsoft guys. I can't see them getting anybody that has any type of like fun
personality, charisma.
And then Nintendo has Reggie, who's just Reggie's his own. He's his own category. But Jack seemed like he's been through it all. He's with them for almost 20 years. So if you look at it that way, he sounded like he had a short tenure by any time. But he went through some amazing times, the PS2, and some dark times with the hack, and then kind of like a revitalization, if you want, of the PlayStation brand with the Sony. So I think he launched the PS4. It was a good launch. So I don't think he has anything to be like ashamed of. They just didn't reach the contract negotiations, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely miss him.
Is this a sign, like, because System Wars is always up in arms, making mountains out of molehills, and we know Sony's in a little bit of a financial tight spot. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but do you think that this is some kind of financial situation, or do you think he just wanted to move on to bigger, better endeavors, like Don Matrick, who left to go help the failing?
Well, Steve Ballmer's getting replaced, so I mean, Microsoft is doomed. I mean, people leave all the time for whatever reason. So
thank you.
I think he just wanted to leave on a high note. George Costanza and all that. Just like, PS4 is doing well. I'm out of here, guys. See you later.
That's kind of my point. That was my point. Is that he's just everything's going good right now.
The day after, he announced it the day after they sold 6 million consoles.
And we got to remember too, with the 360, Peter
Molyneux.
No, more.
Peter
He
Moore,
left and went to EA, so I mean, Microsoft was fine. So I'm just gonna miss him just because of his personality. Not, I assume he knew what he was doing behind the scenes for being employed for 20 years, and I don't know how many as the president, but I assume he has reasonable intelligence for his position to be, staying there that long. But I'm gonna miss his personality. What do you think, Synthia? I mean, have you ever met him? Like, shook his hand?
I mean, I've never met him like in person, but I'm definitely gonna miss like the E3 presentations.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was just like jaw dropping to say the very least. I can just remember watching Sony's conference after. I want to say it was after Microsoft, or at least that's how I'm remembering it. But like, I could just feel the tension in the room whenever they were like, "Oh, this is how you share a game on the PS4." Like, when they were just going down the list of just the way he was, like the way it was just being delivered. It was just, I don't know. I'm gonna miss that a little bit. He was a little catty, but he was also kind of classy about it. I don't know. He seemed like a cool dude. Like, I'd totally grab coffee.
Yep. Champ, what do you think?
On Jack Tretton?
Yeah.
I usually don't care about corporate suits guys, but as far as like this being a little interesting, like usually like when guys like get fired or leave, there's always this like sort of negative presence around them all the time. Like Don Matrick didn't exactly leave on good terms.
Mm-hmm.
Second Peter Moore left, there was like all this doom and gloom Microsoft thing going on, and it's like that guy used to be in charge of Sega Saturn, so like really, come on. Not to hate on the guy, like he clearly knows how to do his job, but like let's be real. But it's like I don't think I've ever heard of a gaming exec leaving and he's like pretty much just batting 1,000 right now. You know what I mean? Like he kind of left. He's like one of the few that gets to leave on, I feel like, his own terms and on a high note at the same time. So I think that's unique. I agree with everybody here. He's pretty entertaining. I was one of those people that never really liked his lisp at first because that's irritating to me. But he won me over because he always had some kind of great joke for his E3s. And my favorite is still the one where he was talking about how, I forgot what year it was and what stage it was, but somebody did push-ups on that stage, and Jack Tretton made that joke, like he's not in the best shape to do push-ups on the stage. But then he went in and was like, but that guy's dead and I'm still here. And I just started cracking up. So like that, I feel like Sony needs to replace because he commands an audience very well, and he keeps it very
To the
human.
point.
He does, yeah, like he has the moxie to look like he doesn't really need a teleprompter, but he doesn't come off, I don't know, like egotistical about it. He feels like a person, like a person's having a conversation with you most of the time.
So in the System Wars fighting game that exists in my head, who do you think would win in a matchup between Jack Tretton and Major Nelson?
Jack Tretton.
Oh,
Definitely
that's
Jack Tretton.
really tough.
I think Jack Tretton will wipe the floor. Yeah.
Is that
I
just
don't know,
because
like-
you guys like the PlayStation brand, or is it because you really believe that?
No, I think Jack Tretton just has like a secret,
So what would
Kamehameha or something like
I was gonna
that.
say, so what would their respective specials be?
I feel
Like,
like I feel like Major Nelson would be too nice of a guy.
Jack Trent would drop
this
the
this
mic
has nothing to do
and
with like whether or not they're nice guys or not. Like, because again, it's like an arcade fighter. Like,
I think Jack Tretton has a Shoryuken that he like what he E3 that whole oh we can share your
It's like-
games like this Shoryuken right in your face.
It's
Come
like
on.
South Park and Jesus against Santa Claus.
Sometimes I feel. Well, I guess more recently, I felt bad for Major Nelson, given that I feel like a lot of the stuff that Microsoft did around the launch and the unveiling, almost like he kind of proved to be a little bit more of like a puppet for the Microsoft machine, which obviously that's what he's paid to be. But I think Major Nelson's weapon would be just throwing money at things. He just fucking huck money at people.
What, like he's like at a really expensive strip club, just throwing dollar bills,
Just
making
throw-
it
yeah.
rain.
Just making it rain.
I would
Like-
be
like
a
you'd be
special.
throwing bitcoins
Yeah, there you go.
or Xbox Gold's month subscription cards.
To kind of bring it back around though, future prospects for Sony. What does this mean for the future of the PlayStation brand in each of your own eyes? Like, does the ship stay forward without Jack Tretton, somebody who's been with it since the beginning, or does it kind of did Tretton do his job? Was Tretton like an angel who came down from the sky and got the boat? Yeah, Jesus.
I don't know about an angel.
But
Loaves
did
and
he-
fishes.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
But
mean,
did he get Sony back on track this gen? And now he's like, okay, I can, I'm kind of Sony's back. We can I can move on. Everyone else can move on.
I think he did. I think he did his job. I mean, there might have been some, the whole PS3 launch and everything like that. I mean, that whole thing was, of course, everybody knows, kind of a bit of a fuck up there. But I think he stayed with the ship. He if it was going down, he was gonna stay with it. But he stayed with it. It came back on top of the water, kept going, and now he's cruising in his cruiser.
That's not how boats work.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm near the water. I have no idea how.
He's in a catamaran. No, I think that's right. I mean, we're all circling around. I think the same thing at this point. I mean, somebody that has had as much, not just time and energy invested, but I'm sure he's got a lot of heart for the PlayStation brand, being there from the very beginning. I mean, there were E3s, if you remember back in Generation 7, where Jack Tretton looked like he was shitting in his pants, like he had high blood pressure, and oh my God, how are we going to right the ship here on the PS3? Because it did struggle out of the gate, and I think it makes sense. I mean, when you sit back and really think about it, here's a guy that's taken this console on a journey, and that 19 years in, CEOs, I think with the average lifespan of a CEO in a company is, what did we say, it was like 9 years, I think we
I think
had
it's
looked up.
like
7 or 8 years. So he's pushing
20 years.
two to three times longer than most CEOs last at a company. So he's probably looking at some point, maybe not over the last couple weeks, but maybe over the last couple years, getting to that point where he's saying there's got to be a right time for me to step away to do something different. And he probably, because it's a labor of love, the PlayStation brand, he probably didn't want to walk away when there were still questions. But PlayStation looks so strong right now. There, as we've been saying, there's no better time to walk away and be beloved and know that you left everything in kind of in a good shape than what he's doing right now. So I mean, I guess it makes sense when you think about it. But
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's really awesome to see. I mean, listen, it seems like a complete polarity reverse between Microsoft and Sony now. But it's good, like Champ said, it's good to see somebody leave A on good terms and B with things seemingly going in the right direction. With not like I'm with a mountain of shit around them, like Matrick, who opened his mouth before he left for Zynga, literally like 2 weeks before.
Oh yeah.
When he was like, we have a console for people who can't be online. That's called the Xbox 360. And then 2 weeks later, it was like, I'm leaving for Zynga. I mean, not that him saying that had anything to do with him going to Zynga, because that shit was probably in place long beforehand. But it's nice to see somebody leave on good terms. I mean, I don't think Sony's going down. Eroica, I've discussed this with you, monumentously. I think if anything came to anything and Sony were to go bankrupt, I think that they would quarantine the PlayStation, at least SCE, and keep that as its own division. I don't think that'll be going anywhere, but that's just me.
Yeah. So let's transition from here. I know we're out of our traditional agenda at this point. I mean, other than the fact that does anyone have any comments to make on the PlayStation 4 topping 6 million consoles? I mean, that's kind of a big thing, but we're still very early in the generation. Anyone have any comments on that? Synthia?
Yay! That's about it. Makes me happy.
That's kind of how I feel too. I mean, it's yay for everybody at this point. I mean, I'm a firm believer. This is gonna sound kind of ticky tack or fucking Brady Bunch, but like I'm always the type that like wants everybody to sell pretty much straight up the gut equal, because I feel like that works out better for gamers in that respect. But 6 million consoles is a lot, fastest selling console in history. What do you think about that, Mr. Music Man?
6 million consoles is pretty good, especially after the PS3 and how that started out. I think I'm the only person in the world who saw it coming, so just give thanks to me, of course. But it's good for Sony. I mean, I'm happy they're doing well. I hope that I think that the Microsoft is going to kind of even things out, because I really believe Titanfall will be a system seller for them. But right now I'm happy for Sony.
Yeah, Champ, what do you think?
Tip of the hat to Sony. They've been on point.
Yep.
They did their thing. They've held their own, and they're in the lead. Good for them.
Kyle, you want to give an "oh yeah" there or what?
Oh yeah. No, I think I'm same thing. I mean, I don't want to see any console really fail, because competition brings good things. So I think before it's all said and done, I predicted long ago that there'll be like less than 10 million probably between Xbox One and PS4 when all is said and done. So both will sell well, but it's good they're getting their consoles in people's homes, and hopefully we'll spur some new IPs. Get some people to take a chance on the new hardware.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, agreed. So, and then moving on, I guess, we're going to close this podcast up. I wanted to ask one more question to you guys, if you don't mind, if you're up for it.
Sure.
And thank you guys for being on with us. We're hitting now, I think, right around an hour, which is normally where we end. Anyone want to share one game you're looking forward to over the next few months? Something that you are jazzed for. Cynthia, you got a game?
Child of Light. I don't know what the date is, but I want to see it.
You took mine. That's what I was gonna say. I'm so excited for that game. What do you love about it? What looks good to you?
The art.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks so gorgeous and whimsical, and it's something that I can probably play in the same room as my daughter. Because I don't play any game that's above an E rating in front of my kid. Because once upon a time I was playing Kingdoms of Amalur and I was fighting a pack of wolves, and my daughter got really upset. I was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Why are you killing puppies?" And I'm like, "Oh, awkward." It's because she doesn't understand. Because how are wolves evil? She doesn't get that at this age, and so so ever since then it's been pretty much like Ni no Kunis and things like that. I just really don't play games during the day. Pokemon's another one that I can play because it's on my DS.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that game looks fantastic. And I'm not going to take up too much time because that's my pick also. But it's got that JRPG fighting style. It's built on the Rayman engine, and like you said, the art just looks so pretty. It looks like such a good game. So that's my. How about Champ? What are you looking up forward to?
Just one game.
Sure.
Bayonetta 2. I
Oh,
love that.
there it is. I knew it.
I love that bitch. You know, I mean, hopefully this time I don't get banned for saying inappropriate words about Bayonetta again. Although I thought I was perfectly fine saying them, but whatever. You know, I love how Platinum Games makes beat 'em ups, and Bayonetta is like one of the best combat systems of the last generation, if all time for my money. Like I'd probably put Ninja Gaiden over, and that's it. So I'm excited to see how Bayonetta 2 plays. You know, I'm sure System Wars is gonna love talking about how the game's gonna tank sales wise, and I can sort of see the bad reviews coming in about how she's too much of she's too indecent at times. So I'm like,
Who would
whatever.
say that?
I mean, I'm perfectly
I'm
fine.
trolling.
Yeah,
I know exactly who's
You're
gonna
being
say.
misogynist, Champ. Stop it.
Well, no, but I mean, like, I'm perfectly fine with that, because if someone said that Bayonetta is a little tacky with its presentation, I'd be like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, I can understand that opinion. So it's fine. But I love the combat system in the first one, so I'm excited for the second game. Plus, they got a bow and arrow this time, so fuck yes.
Yeah. Mr. Music Man, what are you looking forward to?
I want to say Infamous, but I think I'm gonna say because I haven't played it yet. Walking Dead Episode 2 and The Wolf Among Us Episode 3. Both of those are made by what?
Oh, nothing. Go. I'm sorry.
Oh, both of those are made by Telltale Games, and they're just fantastic at what they do. Both those games are just fantastic right now, so I'm looking forward to those.
It's so surprising to see them make such a turnaround, because, like, anybody else remember the Jurassic Park game they made?
Oh.
Yes, I remember it. I remember that.
Everyone was like, what the hell? And then they like completely do like a 180, and they come out, like, they knock it out of the park with Walking Dead, and then continue to kind of go along that same path with Wolf Among Us. And I'm actually really curious to see what they do with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Well, I really want the Game of Thrones one to be really good. I don't know what they're gonna do with it yet, but
I have doubt, but I have faith. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, it looks good too.
Yeah.
Could be good. Yeah. How about you, Anima? What are you looking forward to?
3 words. 3 words. Dark Souls 2.
Oh.
Next Tuesday. That game is going to be fantastic.
Kevin has been swearing so much in the office; it's almost sad sometimes.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign, because that means it's just as hard.
We also know who's reviewing it now.
Yeah, we know who's reviewing it, and
Tim Von Ord.
we know that he loves that series.
Well, he did the first one, so
Well, good. I'm glad he's doing the second one.
Well, he's done all the Souls games.
yeah,
And I have my
it's
players.
kind of our go-to guy.
I have my my Supreme Edition, my like double black armor super collector's edition, and I am very excited for that game, because if it's one game that is just awesome, it's Dark Souls. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
And how about-
Awesome.
Awesome blossom. How about Jesus, Michael Scott? Jesus. How about you, Hyle?
Me, I want Destiny. I'm having high hopes for that, so
Yeah.
Destiny.
I think it's just going to be a ton of content in that. And I really don't play MMOs because I just vehemently oppose monthly fees.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm missing out on a lot of good games out there, like, but I refuse to pay a monthly fee. Plus, Bungie's next endeavor, I don't care how close it is, resembles Halo. They're a top-tier developer, and sounds really tremendous what they're trying to do, and I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to Destiny 2, actually. I really want that to get my sci-fi fix until
wait.
Mass Effect 4 comes out.
Wait, you picked 3 games then.
Yeah,
Three? He named like 4.
I can do that.
He did like all 3 Telltale games. He threw an Infamous. Now you're
No
giving
one
him
wants
Destiny?
Titanfall? Not one either?
I do, but
Oh,
I do
I
not
like it.
Destiny.
a good enough PC or an Xbox One, so that's why I didn't
I
say
got it
Titan.
coming, but I'm not gonna lie, I suck at competitive first-person shooters, so
I'm buying it.
I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna have more fun overall because Destiny is player against.
Me and Heil are gonna take over the world in Titanfall.
Hopefully,
PC champ or 360?
PC. Why would what? There's a 360 version.
I got the Xbox One coming.
So you have the controller and everything.
I didn't buy the bundle. I bought mine Xbox One like 2 or 3 weeks after launch, so
You literally purchased an Xbox One.
I did.
Were you like hustled into buying it? I'm a little confused.
No, it was like shopping for Christmas, and then it's like I got tired of seeing all these big stacks of them in stores, so I was like, I better buy one.
I better buy an Xbox One just to put. I gotta get that stack down. It's just bothering me so much.
I was gonna buy one this week, but I finally decided. I said I'm gonna save my Best Buy. System Wars help Animal Mother spend his Best Buy gift certificates.
I was actually so close to literally buying both of them on like the same day, and then I was like, I don't want to play anything on either of these.
But since Mac picked 3, I'm gonna pick another one. I still want Sight Unseen Sunset Overdrive because I'm an Insomniac fan, so that's my honorable mention. How about honorable mention, Heroic? Isn't Synthia Stole Your Thunder?
Dude, I can't. I'm like so frustrated right now. My Garrus action figure's leg just broke off, and I'm like ready to fucking cry.
It broke off.
It broke off, dude. I just picked it up, and the fucking leg,
What are you doing?
I didn't, dude. I barely touched it. It fucking broke off.
What are you doing? I have my statue from Comic-Con, and they're all in great shape. What are you doing?
I bet you one of the kids or your wife busted it and put it back up there and was like, what'd you do? Like Tommy
So
Boy.
angry.
Oh
That's it.
my
It's like
God.
it's a goddamn Punky Brewster episode going on over here, man. What the
My God.
fuck?
Stop touching it. You
All
don't
right, he's
touch your action.
champ. Honorable mention game. You said you listed
Bayonetta 2.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention then is The Witness.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be good too.
Gabe
Yeah.
Love, you
I
excited?
need my hipster indie shit cred. You know what I mean? Gotta I like Braid. I thought it was a fantastic puzzle game. It's sort of like and this game's like what is it? The Myst series. So no, I'm interested to see how the puzzles work. So
Animal. Honorable mention game.
Honorable mention, I will give it to. I really don't know. I really don't know. I would give it to not the order.
Bayonetta 2.
I guess Bayonetta 2, champ.
Sick.
No, just from seeing it at Comic-Con and.
The fact that Bayonetta is fantastic.
Well, it's a really awesome action adventure game, and it cannot be beaten. It's like
Can you believe people on System Wars like believe this theory that God of War is still good? It almost makes me puke.
I think God of War is a good cinematic adventure game.
I think it's like a fine replacement for NyQuil if you need it. Like
No,
God
come
of
on.
War is that.
You have to give people what they like, and some people
Yeah, like
apples,
some people like
orange.
NyQuil and other people
Ah,
like Tylenol
boo.
PM, and
But
I think
the fact of the matter is there are certain markets. The market is going to gobble up God of War more than it's going to gobble up Bayonetta.
I just think that sometimes Tylenol Extra Strength does the
But-
same job that NyQuil.
What?
Tylenol
Wait,
PM does.
oh yeah, boo-hoo. God of War franchise sold more. Bayonetta 2 is probably only going to sell
Okay.
300,000.
That's fine.
And it's a great game. I'm not knocking it.
That's
but the
fine.
fact of
I
the
would
matter
still
is,
rather have a Hershey bar than NyQuil. That's all I'm saying.
You can't do that.
What?
Though. You can't compare it that way.
Bayonetta is a delicious Hershey bar, and God of War is NyQuil. It is a cure for your insomnia.
Champ, I'm going to tell you what I tell my friend Guy all the time. You cannot compare.
Chocolate to sleeping pills? Yes. You cannot compare chocolate to sleeping pills. That's what I'm trying to say.
You can keep calling God of War a sleeping pill, But my God, are you wrong? Because I can still play it. I might be bored by it.
Oh,
I
Interactive
find myself-
sleeping pills are
All
just
right.
the
They don't
new
exist.
age of curing insomnia.
So
you know, I
heroic,
got-
Yeah.
did you calm down enough after your doll broke to come up with a game?
It's not a doll. It's not a doll. It's an action figure.
Thank
Yeah.
It's a collectible.
Yeah, and I'm actually really bummed right now. You know what? I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. Honorable mention.
What if Mass
You know-
Effect 4 comes out this year? You gonna skip
Oh
that?
my god.
Well, see, of course, I
Don't
want to say Mass Effect 4. I mean, that's my most hyped game, period. You know what? I'll say this: The Witcher 3. I'm excited to play The Witcher 3. I think it looks pretty. The Witcher 2, to me, held my attention through a good portion of it, and then I got sidetracked, and unfortunately, I never went back to it. But I'm literally going to cry in my cereal bowl tomorrow morning because fucking Garrus Vakarian is a paraplegic now.
Oh wait,
Fuck!
wait, both legs are off, or
No, one.
Oh,
can't
you said
reattach it?
you said paraplegic. I thought he was in a wheelchair, like Joe.
Well, he is
from Family.
now. After I'm done hitting him because his leg broke off. What the
He's not
fuck?
paralyzed. He's just,
Yeah.
he's missing a leg.
He's got a handicap.
you know?
Yeah, how
Anyway.
is he gonna save the galaxy in Mass Effect 4?
Maybe
Jesus.
that's a sign from the heavens. Maybe that's a sign from the heavens that you're really anticipated for Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or just watch like in Mass Effect 4, they show Garrus with like a missing leg.
Yeah. The original ending was Garrus's leg broke off, and then they changed it to the shit ending in Mass Effect 3. So, but hey guys, let's wrap this up and keep moving. I want to take a moment and say thank you to our guest. Thank you, Champ, as always, for coming on the show with us.
No problem, man. It's always
Yeah.
a fun time.
Appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Mr. Music Man for stopping. I think this is your third or fourth podcast you've done with us, so thank you for being on.
Yeah, I think it's third. No problem. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And we want to say thank you to Synthia. This is Cynthia's second cast with us, and we obviously want to say thank you to her.
Yay! Also, my honorable mention is New Yoshi Island.
Uh,
New Yoshi Story.
Nice.
Story
Excellent.
Island. One of the two. The new Yoshi game. It sounds
Yoshi's
fucking
New
adorable.
Island, yeah.
There you go. Awesome new Yoshi game. That's the one I want.
Nice. And so honestly, if anyone in the community wants to come on Pedal to the Metal, then you guys are more than welcome. So just PM myself, Heil, Animal, PM anybody. They'll get it to us. And we would love to have you guys on for our European friends. We accommodate Saturday mornings. We like to do shows with our European friends to accommodate for the time shift. But please speak up. Pedal to the Metal is by the community, for the community, so it doesn't work unless you guys speak up. So I'm going to kick things over to Heil. Heil, it's all you, man.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining again. So thank all of our guests, and I guess we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah.